Hey everyone, it's Jack and Ross from Cultaholic.com. Back again. Well, it's your first news video of the day. It's my second one.
Yeah, congratulations.
Double duty, like Kurt Angle at King of the Ring 2001.
How was your matinee show?
Fine. Tom was there.
Work hard?
Yeah, played on as well afterwards.
Now it's time for the evening show, the main event of the evening.
It is, of course. There is more news to talk about, so let's just get straight on with the headlines. Unfortunate news to start off with, as WWE Superstar Jimmy Uso was arrested last night. Next up, there's been more changes to WWE's planned Saudi Arabia show in November. And finally, more details have emerged regarding AEW's annual schedule. So first of all, yeah, bad news actually, as Jimmy Uso was arrested according to TMZ Sports last night, or in the early hours of this morning, for driving under the influence near Pensacola, Florida. Obviously, WWE have been running shows in Florida, so it seems as though it's just happened sort of after SmackDown, I guess. Yeah. TMZ Sports say the details surrounding the arrest are unclear, but what we know so far is the 33-year-old was arrested at 3:04 a.m. and the charge on the police website says DUI, driving with an unlawful blood alcohol level. It's particularly... does it count as irony?
I think it counts as ironic. Just after what John Cena said on this week's Raw, they had a little rap battle. You look like your mugshot. How was he getting arrested? He went and did it for real again.
Yeah,
but I think the bigger issue here is the fact that it's, for Jimmy, the second time since February that he has been arrested for something relating to drink.
Yeah.
Because back in February, I think it was Naomi drove down the wrong way down a one-way street in Detroit. The police pulled her over. She hadn't been drinking, but Jimmy had. Jimmy then confronted the officer, had his shirt off, I believe,
yeah, apparently,
and looked quite threatening, whatever happened there, you know what I mean. But it seems to be a bigger issue for Jimmy that WWE need to step in. I don't know if I'm speaking out of turn here, but it feels like WWE need to step in and do something before he does something more serious. I
don't think you're out of turn saying that. A lot of people have been suggesting that on social media and stuff, including Sean Ross Sapp, who I think mentioned, I can't remember who exactly it was. Sean Ross Sapp definitely was critical of him and said that he just wants to see Jimmy Uso in like a safer place, which we all do. And also, I can't remember who it was, but someone was saying, like, maybe it was Meltzer. I think Meltzer was saying WWE will probably just issue the standard, we are not responsible for the actions.
Yeah, they can't do that this time.
Not after a repeat, yeah. It's never nice news to hear. And you know what, I just find I find this one a bit worse because he was the one driving. It's it's not just putting himself at risk, it's anyone who could.
Just anybody, if you have a drink, don't drive.
Yeah,
pretty simple.
Essentially. Next up, let's go to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, where there's more that's emerged about this mysterious WWE show in Saudi Arabia that's scheduled for, well, it was originally scheduled for November the 1st, then it was moved, and now apparently it's been moved back to November the 1st, which is bad for WWE because they changed so much stuff.
Oh, it's affected us over here in the UK.
It has.
We're getting a live Raw and a live SmackDown. Then that went away when they changed the Saudi Arabia date. Now does that come back? I hope it does for the sake of us fans, because now, as we're sat here right now, we're just getting Raw and SmackDown taped back to back on the same night, aren't we?
Yeah, it's a strange one. And we're not even we're not even the worst hit by it, because they did cancel as well a number of European dates, including the entire Italian leg of the tour.
Italy.
I know, poor Italy. So then, of course, yes, there was what you've just mentioned, the Raw and SmackDown being taped on the same night on a Friday, and also I think that basically this is all due to the fact that it's the GSA, the General Sports Administration, I think, in Saudi Arabia, who basically organise all the sporting events. And it seems to be quite rigid, and WWE have had to jump through a lot of hoops, obviously, to basically bow to their wishes, like just to adhere to what they say, and now it's been all changed back. I can imagine it's been a bit of a logistical nightmare.
Yeah.
There's probably some people in WWE tearing their hair out.
I don't know if it means anything, but maybe the weather is playing a part, because apparently a lot of people were struggling, as they would do with the hot temperatures back in April, whenever it was, at Super Showdown. So maybe they're just trying to not let that happen this time.
It's another example as well, isn't it? It's not the most controversial thing that's happened regarding a WWE Saudi Arabia show, but this deal, even though it's really financially beneficial for them, has just been a bit of a PR disaster, really.
It has, yeah.
Yeah.
It's I guess they're using WWE to peddle this narrative of change in Saudi Arabia and whatnot, but it's not really working out like that, is it? Because all we're hearing is bad things time and time again. But they can't do anything. They're in this deal. It's another 8 years after this.
Okay. Yay. Can't wait for the next one. So allegedly that's going to now take place on November the 1st, but I wouldn't lock that into your calendars just yet, because it could all change again. Next up, let's stick with Dave Meltzer, but let's move over to All Elite Wrestling, because some more details have emerged regarding their plans for the year once they get up and running as a regular promotion. We already know, of course, that they announced last night, that their first TV show will take place on Wednesday, the 2nd of October, but from, what was it, 8 p.m. Eastern?
8 p.m. Central.
8 p.m. Central, sorry. 8 till 10. Which seems like a bit of a prime time slot. More details have emerged. Meltzer says the goal right now for them is to run 100 to 120 live events per year. Probably only 4 pay-per-views. I found that one quite interesting.
I like that.
Made
I
them
like
feel a bit
that
special.
a lot. Oh, they're feeling special. Going back to the roots of the wrestling, well, not the roots of the wrestling business. The 80s we're going back
Yeah. Yeah, basically. I think it'll make each one feel bigger.
Yeah.
I wonder if it means we'll see big matches on TV more often than we're used to as well, because with big gaps in between.
You'd have to, wouldn't
Yeah,
you? You can't just save it all for 4 times a year, otherwise people's interest is going to peak and trough at different times at the end. You don't want
that. 51 TV shows, which I'm guessing the week off, the 52nd week will be Christmas.
Hopefully.
I hope so, for the sake of the wrestlers. And many Saturday night house shows, and on occasion more than one house show a week. Which I find a surprise, because I thought they said originally they weren't going to do that, so plans have obviously changed somewhere if this is true. And the idea is that in spreading the talent out, the top talent does maybe 75 matches, a number that basically, I guess, is to be less stressful and strenuous on the body than the WWE schedule
and
is.
Get more years out of them.
Yeah, well, it all makes sense.
What's the saying? Burn the candle too soon.
At both ends?
Yeah, I don't know. At one end and then just go slow.
Yes. So I think that's interesting. For me, the big thing that stood out there was the 4 pay-per-views thing.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a relief for us, personally.
Yes.
In our line of work.
The content is going to be flowing when AEW starts in October, but that's a welcome relief. Also, of course, we have to use WWE as the example because it's the only big promotion over, around the world. Well, not around the world.
It's the biggest. It's the biggest one.
The biggest, but the pay-per-view, the amount of pay-per-views they do is just way too much. Way too much. And everything becomes muddled, and it's for spring, autumn, winter, summer.
Yeah.
There you go. Lovely.
I think that's good, but I wonder if it does prove to be a success, whether that'll just naturally lead to them doing more and more, as it did with WWE.
But then hopefully if it does, though, they'll see a bit of a downturn in results, and then they'll think, it was fine when it was just 4, so we'll go back to doing 4. But I like the sounds of everything that's been said there. There's nothing I'd personally disagree with. So.
I reckon we'll have all X, all something as their big,
Maybe there's going to be called all something, just a different second word every single time.
I just think for this one upcoming at the end of the summer, their SummerSlam is going to be all. I reckon,
Librarians.
I reckon we'll get. No, wait a minute, I've made a mistake there. I was going to say it'll be triple or nothing, then quadruple it'll just get ridiculous. But I reckon they'll keep double or nothing maybe as well as a thing, and then we get double or nothing too.
I think they should, because it was the first one, wasn't it?
Yeah, that'll be like their Mania. I'm just speculating. Then 2 more. Ooh, what could that be? Halloween.
Being the insert third word.
Yeah.
And then super kick, insert second word.
Yeah.
That is some creativity for you right there.
You should get on the team. Next up, Paul Levesque. I believe that's actually Triple H from the WWE. Is
that his real name?
Apparently, yeah.
I thought it was Hunter Hearst Helmsley.
Well, you've been bloody worked, haven't you? He allegedly, according to many news sources, including, of course, Dave Meltzer, he's alleged to have met with Dragon Gate officials when he was over in Japan.
Bloody hipster.
He just wanted to get some autographs.
Logs on Reddit every single day, squared circle. Oh, who are the fans liking today? Dragon Gate? Oh, I'm going to Japan next week. Better get in with them.
This is very apt considering that this week Dragon Gate put on a show which a lot of people have been saying is the best wrestling show of the year so far.
Oh, really?
Apparently
Not the one
so.
where Mr. Pac lost.
He did lose to Ben K.
Ben 10.
Which means that the Pac now doesn't have to win all the time. Which I think was the main reason why, because he was the champion.
Yeah.
But yeah, it seems like Triple H has gone and met with Dragon Gate officials, and also unnamed WWE officials have also met with Stardom as well. So they're not just looking at the men's division, they're looking at the women's as well. This, in Meltzer's view at least, seems to indicate that this is the next UK for them. So they've broken into the UK market, they've installed NXT UK. It looks like we might be heading for NXT Japan.
So Dragon Gate is progress. Stardom is ICW.
Yeah, Stardom's ICW.
That's a weird thing to say, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, it maybe. Although I was surprised that it was Dragon Gate, because just from when Itami was still on the books, and then they let him appear in Noah, and I thought, Noah might be the WWE boys over there, because it was never going to be New Japan.
No.
I don't think All Japan's big enough currently. They're the one out of the big 4 men's promotions that you hear about the least, I reckon. And then Noah, Dragon Gate though seemed to maybe I don't really know. Maybe they're the second biggest one.
I'm a bit shocked that WWE just how ballsy, I guess is the word. How like when it comes to business, it's like, oh, we'll do it our way, or just don't do it at all. I'm surprised after reading about, I guess someone working there must have seen the AEW New Japan thing just not take off yet, if it ever will do. I'm surprised no one there working there. It's just there's a gap there. Let's just go and take over. Let's just go and work with New Japan, because surely New Japan would be interested in working with WWE. If it was right for them.
Maybe. I don't know enough about the sort of politics over there.
No.
But I reckon... Well, I was surprised when they didn't forge a strong relationship with AEW.
Yeah,
I'm very surprised at the heat between those two promotions, but never mind. And finally, something that Brandy Rhodes said regarding AEW's structure, I suppose, in opposition, in direct contrast actually to the way WWE is ran. So this is via Megan O'Keefe on Twitter, who was at the Television Critics Association press tour where Brandy spoke and said, because AEW is only doing one show a week, the wrestlers won't be driving. Well, this is a bit contradictory because we just heard from The Observer that they might be doing house shows as well. But I think either way, it'll be a reduced schedule compared to WWE. Because AEW is only doing one show a week, the wrestlers won't be driving themselves on the road. And she said that well-being is important. They then got a word from Kia Stevens, otherwise known as Awesome Kong, who added that she's very happy and heard. That's nice.
I know. My mind went straight to Bayley's interview with somebody last week or 2 weeks ago, and the interviewer was shocked there was no union, and that she was shocked the WWE superstars have to travel, like get their own rental cars, and then travel to the arenas by themselves. Put a bus on. Yeah. Everyone loves a bus journey, don't they? You go with like that to the lorry drivers, and they honk their horn at you.
Get a film on.
And you swear at old women and buses next door.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful time had by all. Everyone just should get on buses all the time. Not public ones, your privately, your Howard Snaiths and people like that. Privately hired.
I went to school with Howard Snaith.
The actual Howard Snaith?
His son.
God, what a life he must have. Millions of buses.
The heir of the Howard Snaith bus company. That's just in the northeast, isn't it?
Yeah,
Very few people are going to... Anyway, so good for AEW being a bit nicer to their talent. That interview was awkward because I remember she says, well, we're independent content. We've got to get to the shows. You can't be driving us all around all the time. And the woman goes, surely you're making quite a lot of money for this company. And she's I like working here. It's good. And she just changed the subject.
I mean, WWE obviously have the reasons for doing the things they do the way they do. But surely, like, just thinking about it, like, you pay for people's flights into somewhere. That's fair enough. Just have a bus, wait at the airport for everybody.
Yeah.
But then I guess people travelling from all different parts of the country can't get to the airport at the same time. Make them arrive on the same day, have the bus pick them up all at a later date, give people hotel rooms. It just makes sense to me.
There must be a way to do it.
Yeah.
I don't know. But anyway, yes, that's the news. Thanks for stepping in and doing the main event. As you said, the matinee was first. I need to get better at this news banter. Tom's just like, because he's radio and all that.
Yeah, he's an actual presenter with presenting credentials, and we're just like hacks who fell into this job arse backwards and then made the most of it. So that's where we are. Have a good evening.
Thanks very much for watching, and let us know what you think in the comments section down below. You can follow Cultaholic on Twitter at Cultaholic and on Facebook at facebook.com/Cultaholic. If you enjoy what we do, then please do check out our Patreon, patreon.com/Cultaholic, where you can pledge. And don't forget, of course, most importantly of all, to hit subscribe and to join us.